This is the meatpacking district of Chicago on a rainy Tuesday night. At an old-school diner tucked away from the neon lights, 22-year-old Chloe Bennett is working the late shift. She's currently drowning in nursing school loans and her late father's medical debts, serving men in tailored suits who tip in crisp $100 bills. At exactly 9 p.m., the atmosphere shifts. Isabella Rossi arrives. She is 72 years old and the matriarch of the feared Rossi Syndicate. She sits at her favorite corner booth with minimal fuss, leaving just 2 guards at the door while she enjoys her meal in peace. A black Lincoln Town car rolls to a silent stop outside. A hitman for the rival Moretti family bypasses the guards and steps into the diner. He doesn't aim for the security. He points a suppressed Glock directly at the booth where the matriarch is sitting. Chloe has no ties to the mafia, but instinct takes over. She lunges across the table, knocking Isabella into the upholstery just as the hitman opens fire. Chloe absorbs the impact of 4 hollow-point bullets meant for the mob boss's mother. That split-second decision ended Chloe's life as a civilian. By taking those bullets, she was suddenly a primary player in the middle of an active cartel war. To understand why she is in danger, we have to look at the logic of the underworld. When a rival family fails a hit because of a random bystander, it creates a respect deficit. To save face, the syndicate marks the interfering bystander as a loose end that must be eliminated. Standard protection doesn't work here. Paying medical bills or moving her to a house in the suburbs with a few bodyguards is a temporary fix. Eventually, those physical barriers erode, while the cartel's obligation to kill her remains. This creates a problem for Vincent Rossi, the syndicate's Don. In his world, a debt of blood is paid in family. He owes Chloe his mother's life, which means he is personally responsible for her survival. Vincent realizes the only way to protect her is to change how she exists in the eyes of the law. He needs to bring her inside the syndicate's formal structure. The highest law of the Mafia Commission is the rule of the Don's wife. Within the syndicate's ecosystem, the wife of a boss is granted absolute immunity. This provides massive strategic leverage. A hit on a Don's wife is an act of war that grants the Rossi family a legal green light from the commission to wipe out the Moretti family entirely. The Morettis know this, and they wouldn't dare risk it. Vincent moves quickly. In a hospital room filled with armed guards, a priest rushes through a wedding ceremony, while Chloe is still recovering from surgery. Vincent slips a heavy diamond ring onto her finger, claiming her as his own, before the eyes of the church and the commission. With a signature on a marriage certificate, Vincent changed the political math for his enemies. To the underworld, Chloe was no longer a waitress. She was now protected by the highest political laws of the syndicate. But political immunity has a weakness. It only works as long as the people around you follow the rules. It offers no protection against internal betrayal. At 2:15 a.m., the hospital's security perimeter fails. A traitorous guard named Polly disables the cameras and clears the hallway. He allows a 4-man hit squad to breach the floor, intending to finish the job the Morettis started. Vincent, sitting in the room, notices the change immediately. The rhythmic sound of his guards pacing in the hallway has stopped. As the door handle turns, Vincent opens fire through the wood. Automatic weapons return fire, shredding the walls. Vincent grabs the heavy hospital bed and flips it sideways, using the steel frame as a physical barricade to shield Chloe from the incoming rounds. Vincent executes the hitmen one by one. In the aftermath, he realizes the hit squad didn't just walk in, they were let in by one of his own men. The hospital siege proved that while the law provides political immunity, physical survival ultimately relies on raw personal violence when the system is compromised from within. Chloe is moved to the Rossi Fortress in Lake Forest to recover in total isolation. While her wounds heal, Vincent begins a campaign to find the source of the betrayal. Investigators discovered a conspiracy that went deeper than a simple hit by the Moretti family. Vincent's own uncle, Arthur Rossi, had coordinated with the rivals to wipe out the bloodline and seize control of the syndicate for himself. Vincent's response was absolute. He obliterated the Moretti family and ensured his uncle vanished from Chicago permanently. He followed the ultimate mafia principle: Absolute security is only possible once every threat, internal and external, is removed. 1 month later, the war is over. Vincent tells Chloe that the threats have been eradicated. He offers to dissolve the marriage and let her return to her old life. Chloe considers her options. Her past was defined by crushing debt and the vulnerability of being a civilian in a city that didn't care if she lived or died. Her present is defined by a man who burned down half of Chicago to keep her safe. She chooses to stay. She accepts the role of Chloe Rossi, the untouchable queen of the syndicate, trading her old identity for a place in the hierarchy. Chloe Bennett began the month as a waitress drowning in debt. She ended it as a pillar of the Rossi empire. By choosing to stay, she traded the uncertainty of the civilian world for the brutal, absolute safety of the life she almost died for.